10 laps to go, 10 laps to go. So we're into the second half of the race now. There is the grandstand and there is our race leader. There is the race leader, is kart number 309, Damien Viaume. Well, you can see how close Damien is feeling the heat from Martin Pearce. It's very, very difficult to work out the psychotics of this, the psyche involved. Oh, and Martin Pearce then detached a couple of lengths, so not quite sure what happened there. It won't be a missed gear if it was in car racing with gearboxes, I guess that's what you'd say, but Martin Pearce not quite as close now as he was. This time 9 laps to go, 9 laps to go, and a mechanical defect to 233. Mechanical defect flag to Arnaud Adriani of France. Arnaud Adriani, son of the very, very popular and very successful journalist. Arnaud Adriani gets the mechanical defects flag. Martin Pearce is as close could be to Damien Viaume. Having said that, there's perhaps half a kart length's distance between them, so I guess he could be a little bit closer. Damien Viaume making himself heavier in the kart to get the traction, that's what it's about. Into the triple hairpin and onto the home straight. At this time he sees the lap board showing 8 laps to go, 8 laps to go. And Damien Viaume leading from Martin Pearce. 0.3 of a second between them. 2.5 seconds behind them is Wesley Orr, the 3 times Rotax World Champion. Ricardo Romkema is running 4th. Leroy Poulter of South Africa is 5th. Mike Usens of Holland 6th. Aaron Smith of Ireland 7th. Kevin Friesacker, Austria 8th. Tiago Ribeiro, Portugal 9th. And completing the top 10 it was Kevin Rijkaard of Austria. 309 is Damien Viaume. Damien Viaume from Martin Pearce. Well, there was a time just a couple of laps ago when I thought that Martin Pearce was just about to be launching an attack on Damien Viaume, but that's not happening right now, and it looks as if Damien Viaume has just put that tiny little break between himself and Martin Pearce, or is Martin Pearce just having a mid-race breather? The Sodi Kart racing overalls of race leader 309 Damien Viaume. Well, Damien Viaume maintains his lead, and as he shuffles forward in that kart, it almost looks as if he got an extra length for shuffling forward, getting the weight over the driving wheels. Oh, and you saw the rear wheel rise off the circuit there. Martin Pearce going through the circuit and the wheel leaving the track, so no adhesion there and no forward drive, no forward momentum. Well, Martin Pearce, vastly experienced driver, tracking Viaume. Viaume having a look over his right shoulder, just another glance over his right shoulder. Is Viaume driving as fast as he can, or is he saying, look, what I'm trying to do, Martin Pearce, is hold you back, and that's what I'm doing. And once again, Martin Pearce looks extremely menacing in that second place position. Third place is still Wesley Orr, and Martin Pearce working out the options. Here comes Wesley Orr, kart number 206, in front of Ricardo Romkema, 213. Mike Usens is kart number 270. 226 going through there was Aaron Smith, the Irishman. Oh, and a bit of a rattle between karts numbers 242. I think that was 242 that I was identifying a little bit further down the field. Kart number 242 is Michael Cool of Belgium. But nobody's rattling 309 Damien Viaume. He's as cool as can be. Martin Pearce made a big slingshot move there, but it didn't take the lead. Damien Viaume holding off Martin Pearce, but it's as close again as it was 5 laps ago. We're into the 5 laps to go margin, which is, oh, and a driver stopping on the last bend, if I can identify who that is. Don't think it was one of the front runners in the blue overalls, but let's stay with the race leaders. Here they are. 309 is Viaume, 204 is Pearce, and the driver that's come to grief is kart number 291. That's Romain Chatelain, who won the last chance race earlier on today. Sadly, he didn't start the pre-final. He did start the final, but he's not going to finish it. But one guy who does hope to be finishing it is Martin Pearce in kart 204, and he hopes to be finishing it 1 place higher than he is at the moment. Martin Pearce tracking the race leader, Damien Viaume. Damien Viaume is the leader. Martin Pearce a couple of lengths behind him. Wesley Orr in the far distance down the back straight, the comfortable third place driver. But the race of the Rotax Max Senior Final is the race for the lead. On to the last bend once again. There are 3 laps to go, 3 laps to go. Damien Viaume, Martin Pearce. Well, if Martin Pearce doesn't get past Damien Viaume on this lap, how late would he dare leave it? How late, if Martin Pearce thinks, look, I know where I'm going to pass you and I know I can get past you, how late dare he leave it? 2.5 laps to go of this 21 lap race. 3:09, Damien Viaume of France. And he takes the luxury of a look over his right shoulder. Martin Pearce sitting motionless body-wise there, not motionless cart-wise. We're at pretty top chat there, pretty top speed. Coming on to the home straight once again. 2 laps to go, 2 laps to go. And Martin Pearce, well, is not that close. 0.287 of a second behind. So Martin Pearce lost a whisker in that particular lap. 1.5 laps to go. Has Viaume got the measure of Martin Pearce? Will Martin Pearce try something dramatic late on? Viaume leads, Pearce second. Martin Pearce, the vastly experienced world number 3. Martin Pearce has a comfortable cushion over Wesley Orr, so he doesn't have to worry about the third place man. It's all about these two. 3:09, Damien Viaume. 2:04, Martin Pearce. Once again, coming out onto the home straight. There's a back marker in front of them, but I think he'll be gone. Last lap, last lap, last lap. 1 lap to go, last lap. I don't think the back marker will play a part. I doubt that they'll catch him, but this is the race. 1 lap to go, 3/4 of a lap to go in fact. Damien Viaume of France holding off Martin Pearce. Does Martin Pearce go for the victory? Does he go for the second place to hold himself in a championship position? He's looking for a way through, isn't he? Martin Pearce's body language is, let me past, I'm coming, I'm coming. The back straight to go. Then the triple hairpin complex. Viaume looks over his shoulder into the triple hairpin. Viaume holds the lead. Second part of the hairpin. The final hairpin. And has Viaume done enough? Yes, he has. Damien Viaume leads to the flag. Damien Viaume wins. Martin Pearce is in second place. Third man home is the world champion Wesley Orr. Fourth is Ricardo Romkemer. Fifth, Mike Usens. Sixth, Leroy Poulter. Well done, guys. A handshake there from Damien Viaume and Martin Pearce. It was a good race. Very cleanly driven. Extremely sporting race. Very cleanly driven by both of them. And they share a handshake as they go on the slowing down lap. Mike Usens 5th, Leroy Poulter 6th, Aaron Smith 7th, Kevin Freisacker 8th, Thiago Ribeiro 9th, and creeping into the top 10, the Austrian driver, Kevin Reichardt.